I think this is something from the Georgia data, but we also see it in Pennsylvania. Young African-American men did not come home. Part of the African-American vote came home to her, but a lot of it didn't, and there's a gender gap there. And the Georgia, I think, to run the numbers, and I'm not going to lay this at the feet of any demographic group in particular, but she really did seem to underachieve amongst African-American males, especially young African-American males.
I mean, it just makes me think about Michelle Obama and Barack Obama, the former president, and the very strong appeals that they made. Michelle Obama said, don't let your husband or boyfriend's rage dictate your vote. President Obama talked about bringing out brothers and scolding them. That does not seem to have been a strategy that worked.
Well, it's the day after. I'm not surprised by the result. Everyone that's been a member, and thank you so much for everybody that has subscribed. If you haven't become a member yet, please click on that membership button down below. I really appreciate everyone and all the support and all the encouragement that has come my way. I'm not surprised by the result at all. If you've been listening to me for a while, I've been telling you, especially when it came to black men, younger black men like myself, they are going to vote for Trump at a clip that had not been seen before. And a lot of people didn't want to believe me. A lot of people thought that black men would come home. I mean, you had Barack Obama out there chastising black men, Michelle Obama out there chastising black men. You had Roland Martin out there chastising black men. They even got the Black Panthers out there to chastise black men. But what people don't realize is that this whole MAGA thing is a movement that is bigger than some election. Because a lot of black men, a lot of men in general, but especially a lot of black men feel disenfranchised. They feel disenfranchised from the church. They feel disenfranchised from the community. And they feel disenfranchised, especially from the system, and they feel disenfranchised from the Democratic Party. So what happened last night is just the beginning of a slow and steady movement of men, in particular black men, to be more and more politically independent. And the sad part about it is, a number of people are going to say that the reason why Kamala Harris lost was not because she was a poor candidate, was not because she was fake and people saw through that fakeness, was not because she was pushing all kind of anti-God, anti-biblical, anti-American things. It wasn't because she wanted to unalive your children. It wasn't because she wanted to continue to emasculate men. It wasn't because of that. They're going to say it's because men were misogynists and were racist. Just listen to what Juan Williams on Fox News had to say last night.
I think that for me, talking to people like Darren and political professionals that I know, when I anticipated the size of this mandate, as you call it, I think that there is even recriminations now among Democrats as to Biden and whether Biden should have dropped that earlier or Biden should have stayed. Would a white male have done better? Obviously, Trump has defeated 2 women and now a black woman. So there's all of these questions. But to my mind...
See, that's the thing. A lot of people didn't see Kamala Harris as a black woman. She was cosplaying as a black woman. And a lot of folks saw through that.
It seems to me incredible that a guy who led a insurrection against the United States government is going essentially now, like a phoenix going back into the Oval Office. It's unbelievable.
Well, you have to consider the fact, one, that a lot of people didn't think that was an insurrection. They thought it was a riot, but not an insurrection. And had they thought there was an insurrection, I don't think he could have won.
Well, I don't know.
Exaggerations about that day.
Well, I'm not exaggerating.
About the alleged threat to democracy is a piece of what happened tonight.
Well, I don't think so. I think, again, I'm giving you my perspective.
And I'm giving you mine.
Right, so I listened to you as my friend. But I'm going to tell you what I saw was not only a right in terms of the violence, but a direct action intended to stop certification of a presidential election.
Understood. And we've talked a lot about
that's
it.
why I said that.
And we've talked a lot about it.
Understand very clearly.
The campaign,
I'm not trying to hype it.
The campaign ran a lot of ads about it, talked a lot about it, and more, half the country now, Juan is going to say, that is not what I care about. I care about my economy. I care about immigration.
No,
I
see,
care
that's
about-
where we differ. I'm not sold on this idea that, oh, it was the cost of eggs. I worry that it was, well, I'm not voting for this woman.
You heard that? He said it wasn't because inflation is high. It wasn't because people have to choose between filling their gas tank and buying groceries. It's because she was a woman. You black men that voted for Kamala Harris, you are misogynist. That's the same refrain, and I'm telling you, get ready for that. And unfortunately, you probably will hear it on tonight at your church service or on Sunday morning from some of these church plant pastors. You will hear black men be chastised. Get ready for it.
I'm not voting for this black
I
woman.
don't know. That's not what we see in our data.
Well, here's the thing. Where do you see that? Because a moment ago, Darren was out here and he said, in fact, not only did the bro strategy work, and the bro strategy largely worked along the lines of white men, but that the bro strategy also had some impact in terms of Latino and black men who came along and gave higher percentage.
All right, Carl,
Juan,
weigh in.
yeah, I just want to make one more point with Juan. I spoke to Jack Brewer this week, and here's what he said: if Trump wins, he said he won because black men felt that Democrats and elites put immigrants before us. Your thoughts on that?
I just think that that's possible. I don't know that for a fact. I think there are tensions between racial groups, and people might feel that. Obviously, you can exploit those tensions, and you can exacerbate them to the point where you can politically benefit from it. Do I think that's the reason he won? No. I think the reason he won is you look at that Bo strategy and the white male turnout and white grievance politics that he has used to great success in this country.
I mean, Carl, I think he's trailing his prior 2020 numbers with whites.
Well, you know what? I think that the Bo
Hispanics and black males.
Yeah.
well, it's not sufficient to make up. It's not sufficient to have this kind of
Look. I just think it is extremely odd to suggest that black men are somehow prejudiced because they vote for a white candidate who says, I want to make certain that everybody has an opportunity to succeed in our great economy. I want you to be more prosperous, and I will do things that will make it possible for you to make a better life. That is an appeal to their best instincts. He did not go out and say, vote for me because I'm not a woman. Don't vote for me because I'm a white man. That would not have attracted those votes. They got attracted to him because they thought he was a strong, effective leader, and they thought he would do something about the issues they cared the most about, which is an economy in which they think they get the short stick, inflation, which has decimated their purchasing power, and illegal immigration, which has affected their communities deeply. And to suggest that somehow black men are racist because they supported a white man is just too far, Juan.
You're distorting my comments. But let me just say, hold on. We're not saying most black men did not vote for Donald Trump. So I never said anything like that. That's just not true.
You suggested it's only
I'm saying to you, I'm saying to you that in terms of this bro strategy for white males, the whole notion of I'm bad, I talk about women in the most disparaging way. There's some men who just say, you know what, I get into, I want to be in on that. I want to be a guy, and I think they like Trump's image and the character.
I think they supported him in spite of that, not because of it. We offered to make their life better.
I'm telling you, brothers, get ready for it. If it has not happened already, it will. You're going to be blamed, like I've said before, you're going to be blamed for Kamala Harris losing. The white brothers, you're going to be blamed, and black brothers especially, you're going to be blamed. I've seen all kind of posts on social media already threatening black men because they chose to vote for Donald Trump. How sick is that? I pray for unity in this country. There is a strong gender divide. See, what has happened and what people are not recognizing is the spiritual ramifications and the spiritual demonstration of what happened last night. Men want to restore biblical order. Women in this country have been pushed and prodded and encouraged by feminism. There are certain women in this country, not all women, because Donald Trump did great with women, but there's a lot of black women who are controlled by feminism. And so when they realize that black men that they know voted for Donald Trump, they will get so aggravated with you that I've heard some of them calling for some black men to be unalived. That is sick. And to have Juan Williams say that the reason why young black men did not vote for Kamala Harris is because she's a woman. Really? We're not victims. We are empowered for greatness.